Hi all, good morning, good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. So in this today class, we will see how we can build an agent, okay, called test case generator, okay, using LangChain. So you have seen in the previous class how we have built one, no, chain. Also you have seen how we can build one, no, very basic, you can say mental agent where exactly you're just directly calling to the LLM, where no tool, nothing has been integrated. But in the next chain you have seen just how we have integrated the prompt. So in the flaky test also you have seen how we have integrated the prompt and we have integrated the tool, or you can say it's a basic agent we have built, right? So in the today class we will see how we can build one agent, okay, called test case generator, where we are going to integrate the tools, integrate the expected output format, and no, we will see how exactly LLM is helping us to give the response back with the help of tools, expected output format, and so on. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just quickly go and create a file here. So in this file, I can say test case, okay, test case agent. Okay, I can just use .py. Okay, here similarly the approach will remain same, just you have to go here, import all these libraries. Okay, I'll just explain each and everything. I just kept it here not to miss anything. Okay, so here if you see, initially I'm just loading .env. From .env I'm loading load underscore .env. Same thing pedantic, I'm also loading just to use the base model and fields. Okay, this is just like we are inheriting from the base model to build our methods. Okay, that's our methods, or you can say our class. Okay, and the langchain underscore grok I'm using just to use the grok keys. Okay, chat grok, and tools I have imported because of to define the tools and all, and prompt I'm using just to send my user prompt and system prompt, and agent is primarily used to build your agent, right? List and all is just the collection concepts. Okay, so now quickly I'll go. The next step is also remain same, because that will be always remain same, so nothing I have to worry on this. So here you have to just copy. So same thing, I'm just loading the env, loading the os. Okay, so this is the os I'm loading, and loading the env also. Then the next step is I have to import the request also. Sometimes not some request import is also required to work on the tools. Then the next step is I have to build the one of the tools. Okay, this is called test case. What exactly this? Okay, so here if you see, this is the base model from where I'm inheriting and creating a class called test case. What exactly this class test case? It will going to define the expected output, how you want your expected output to be looks like when the LLM will give the response back to you, right? So this is the expected output format I'm going to define it. Okay, same thing I'm going to define for the test plan. Okay, so I'm just copy pasting this. This is the test plan format I'm going to define. So here if you see, I'm just defining id, data type is string, title, example is equal to field. Example also I have given so that it will be easy for the LLM to give the response. Okay, same thing I'm giving the precondition steps. Okay, and steps obviously it will be multiple steps, right? Because of that I have defined list. Then expected is str, precondition, priority, and so on. Same thing for the test plan. Okay, in the test plan here I'm going to define feature, scope, risk, and test case and all. Okay, because one feature can be contain multiple test case, that's why I have defined is called list here, and it will take in the test case. Perfect. So I have defined the plan and the feature and the test case output format. Now this will be remain same steps, nothing have to do here. So just I'm defining the LLM here. Okay, so here you have to go and define the LLM here. So what exactly this LLM will do here? So if you see here, let me do the indentation. Okay, so what exactly you will do here? Here I'm defining using chart grok, and the model I'm going to use this model I'm going to use. So here is my model. Yeah, this is the model I'm going to use. Okay, so go here and replace this hard coded value with the model which is coming from my environmental variables. Temperature will remain 0. Okay, and here what I'm doing, LLM dot with underscore structured output. See here, this is the built-in method. Okay, I'm using LLM dot, this is the LLM I'm going to define here. Then I'm using LLM dot with structured output. Then I'm passing the test plan. It means that I'm saying to LLM, when you are giving the output to me, you have to follow this test plan template, or you can say feature template structure. Then in the test case, feature definitely will be given in this format like feature, scope, risk. But when the test case will come, then again here you have to follow this template structure. Okay, it's clear now. So whenever the LLM is going to give the response, feature structure should be like this. Again, under a feature, your test case structure should be like this. Clear? So now the next step is, okay, my LLM X, already I have given the instruction to LLM to define the output format, how you know which format you are going to give. That is been stored in a designer, right? So now the next step is what I'll do. Once I have defined, then I have to just define the prompt. That you already know. Prompt, just like, you know, I'm giving the identity to the agent. Okay, prompt equal to chart prompt template dot from message. System is nothing but I'm giving the identity to my agent. You are a testing design export, turn a requirement into blah 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 other things, right? Creating a features and test case and so on. Okay, then human is nothing but the user prompt. Okay, what user is going to give? User just going to give the requirement or user story. Okay, then it will pass to agent. Then agent will come to know, yes, I am a test design expert, so my role is going to do to build a feature and test case. Then immediately agent will look for the support of LLM and tools to build the constructive output and given back to the user. So how that will going to happen? Okay, now the next step is you have to do the chain here. Okay, in this chain, okay, what you have to do in this chain here, if you see, okay, this chain is nothing but going to prompt, then from prompt it will going to designer. Okay, so all things now consolidated in the form of a chain. Okay, now once this chain is ready, then I have to just use create a agent and call the chain. So if you go to this step here, this is very simple here. Okay, I'm just going to do this. So here if you see, I'm just going to chain.invoke I'm doing. Okay, so once I'm going to chain.invoke, okay, here I'm giving the story. Story is nothing but the input the user is going to give. So here I'm going chain.invoke is nothing but calling to the agent. Okay, here I am giving the story. Story is just like my input. What is my input? As a user, I can reset my password via forget password link. This is my user story. I have given this user story. Then the same user story will be fitted here. Okay, as a user prompt. Then it will go to LLM. Okay, once it will go to the LLM, okay, it will come to know, yes, so my role is I will act as a test design expert. My responsibility to build the features and give the test case. So on which format of the test case I'm going to give, that has been defined here. Feature and from test case format is defined here. So how they are connected with each other, whenever the chain.invoke will call, it will go here, go to prompt, then in prompt it will take the help of system prompt and human prompt, then it will go to the designer, then from designer it will going to call to LLM, then from LLM it will get the response in the given format. Okay, so that's it. You have to build your agent. Okay, so this is just a print message where, you know, once the response coming from the agent with the help of LLM, it will just going to print the features, print the test cases. If it's a multiple test case, it will just run through a loop and print the priority test case ID, because multiple test cases will come, right? It will going to print the priority ID, title and type and so on. Okay, now I'll go quickly and test this particular test case. So let me save the file and I will just go to open my terminal. Then I will write called Python. Okay, then I'll write dot test case underscore agent dot py. Okay, so let me, my spelling mistake, my bad, Python. Okay, so I just click on execute. Let's see, the execution has been started. Okay, now if you see here, now it will give the feature called forget password reset flow. Okay, for this particular feature you have given the user story, then using the user story it will created one feature called forget password reset flow, which has 10 test cases has been generated in the given format I have given, right? So these are the 10 test cases has been created here in the given format. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, never stop learning. Bye bye.